A new job report says U.S. companies are scaling back hiring efforts ahead of the holidays. U.S. employers added 150,000 jobs to the market, which is almost half of the 297,000 added in September. Experts are suggesting the strikes being the cause in the big drop as people are returning back to work. Let's see how all that is impacting us right here in the Triad. We have Will Graham from Graham Personnel Services and Fred Henry from Guilford Works. You can send in your job-related questions now by text 336-379-5775. All right, so Fred, let's start with you. Guilford Works-wise, NC Works-wise, what does the impact look like here in the Triad?
I think right now we're seeing we're fully employed as far as the numbers. The unemployment rate was 4.1% last month, and it's ticked down to 3.6%. And folks are fully employed, but there are still companies out here hiring, even though things have slowed down in some sectors.
All right, and so we have some numbers just from Guilford County alone about the number of jobs that are open right now and how many jobs, how that's changed in the last month. And to me, that's very telling.
Yes. So when you look at some of these things, again, there's some slowdown toward the end of the calendar year. We have received some recent what we call warn notices for companies that are laying off. But we also, the positive side on that is that we have companies that are reaching out for that talent, and we're working to connect those individuals with opportunities, such as Toyotas and So Elects, and even with some positions that we're working with the company called Deployed Services, that they're looking to hire bilingual in about 300 positions.
Okay, so what we're looking at right now, 31,000 open positions in Guilford County, only 508 different positions changing in the last month, which is pretty small when you think of all the other things. And we see the who's hiring everything from Cone Health to Guilford County Schools, High Point University, and kind of like a mishmash of all the different stuff. All right, Will, let's get on to your side of things. So Will Graham is with Graham Personnel Services, which means this is a temporary agency finding people jobs all over the nation, really, not just here in the Triad. You say there's about 400 jobs open immediately right now for you.
Yeah, we do. We have about 400 jobs open that we'd like to fill before the end of the year in the Greensboro, High Point, Asheboro, Brown Summit, Winston-Salem, Burlington, Thomasville area. And a lot of those are around manufacturing, distribution, supply chain, third-party logistics companies, which you'll see tick up during the holiday season and things like that. So we do have a lot of what I would call seasonal holiday work coming up, as well as large call centers and some things like that we need to staff all in those areas. So the nation is cooling down, so that is happening. But hopefully North Carolina will fare better. But I think we're going from a 9, right, to maybe like a 7 or a 7.5. We could go down to a 5. Let's hope not. But it is cooling a little bit. But I think next year it'll pick back up.
Yeah, and Fred's kind of nodding in agreement as well. That's what he's saying. All right, let's talk about what everybody's talking about, especially over the last week with the big expansion news for the Toyota plant and Toyota plant jobs. All right, Fred, so what do we got?
So Toyota made the big announcement adding $8.1 billion to our state and 3,000 additional jobs. So there's going to be over 5,000 jobs that they're bringing to the Triad area. So we're currently working with Toyota with the Guilford Works locations in Greensboro, but also Asheboro as far as assessing some of their positions. We're planning and working with the Evangel Fellowship Church for a hiring event that's going to take place on December 9th. And that's from 10 to 2. So if you're looking or interested in working for Toyota, please reach out to us. Please reach out to Evangel Fellowship Church of the whole program. And we're working with the company to fill these positions.
All right, on that day, on that December 9th, should you just show up and bring your resume kind of thing?
Yes, you can. So we'll have things set up. Actually, a couple of days before the event, we're going to have what we call a prep session for the event that folks can come in and work on their resumes, interviewing techniques, things of that nature. We have the NC Works Mobile Career Center unit out there to help folks get registered for our services. So we have staff on site to work with them and help prep them for the event on the 9th. That's going to take place on Thursday, December 7th.
Okay, all right. All right, let's talk about direct hire roles. What does that mean, Will?
Yeah, so direct hire roles tend to be when we headhunt certain highly skilled roles out of one company, literally call in and place them with someone else. So they're not a temporary or contract. It's going to be the company has hired us to find them someone on a permanent basis or full-time basis. So those aren't temporary jobs. They tend to be much more highly skilled. You got to have experience, high paid. So for instance, we've got manager positions open paying between 45 and 150,000. We have about 12 of those. 20 maintenance tech openings paying between 40 and 80,000. Engineer openings, 5 of those, paying between 50 and 60 and 90,000. So those are direct hire roles, are usually highly skilled. Hey, you got to check all 10 boxes. And they're not going to be a temp to direct hire type situation.
All right. And so if somebody's looking at some of those things and they're like, ooh, I could do that and I want to make that move, what do they need to do?
Yeah. So, if they have the experience, it's a no-brainer, right? Get in contact with us and we'll be happy to interview them and present them. Our clients tend to, on a direct hire role, work in a confidential basis, and they don't want us to disclose their names, and they want us to do all the screening and everything like that. So it's a very hands-on approach. But yeah, reach out to us, and we've got that message out on all of our Instagram and Facebook feeds and things like that, and so talk to us and we'll be happy to interview.
All right, but mum's the word on who all those companies are. But I saw some really good salaries on there, so if you saw something that interested you, make sure that you get there with Will. All right, Fred, we have some WOW events going on in High Point and also in Greensboro.
Yes, so this is a new series of workshops that we're planning and working with both our High Point and Greensboro centers. It's an opportunity for job seekers to come out and work with staff to work on some of their skills as far as interviewing skills, resume preparation, completing applications, but also connect with staff if they need to upskill regarding training for some of these jobs, these thousands of jobs that are coming to the area. But in addition to that, we've also invited a handful of employers to attend these events to engage with these job seekers and share information about their companies, but also about career opportunities.
Okay.
And these will kick off in High Point on November 8th and then followed by Greensboro on November 15th.
Gotcha. 8th and the 15th for those two. All right. And you can find Guilford Works, all the information there. All right. We're going to take a quick break. We want to make sure that you get your questions answered. So what's it like if you need help doing a resume? What about if you have a specific job that you're looking for? Is it in their wheelhouse? We can talk about that. 336-379-5775. We'll be right back.